Hey everybody, Coach Mike here. Coach Mike is always improving. I hope you are as well. It's Monday. That is the 30th of March. Okay, so we're into spring, almost to April Fool's Day. Gee, do I want to do a podcast on April Fool's Day? It might open too many doors, but it might give me an opportunity to have some fun too. So we'll see about that. What I want to tell you this morning is about protecting yourself against calamities. I always tell my players, I always tell students, I always tell my customers, when you have a bad day, we're all going to have a bad day now and then. We want to uh, avoid making it worse by piling errors on top of errors. And for business, that means we need to protect ourselves by having a backup plan a lot of times. Recently, I heard a story about a friend I know that had her business social media page hacked, her profile, and subsequently locked out by the platform when they were trying to catch the bag, I guess, or whatever. I haven't got all the details on that yet. Maybe I'll be able to see about getting her on a show. But fortunately, she had many of her clients' emails, but maybe not all of them. I don't know how much she stayed connected. Hopefully, all of them. But that should be a good warning for you to have a backup plan where you make sure you have your customers' information somewhere else besides just in one place. So I recommend, and I'm a partner, of course, not to pat myself on the back, but I'm a constant contact certified partner. And right now we've got a 40% off deal for the first 3 months of signing up with Constant Contact. Now, what's that going to do for you? By, let's say, you use a social media platform like that, and you're relying on that for your connections with your customers. If that gets shut down, if your Constant Contact could be a backup. And it wouldn't hurt to send out, even if you only do it once a month, send out a newsletter or something via email. A lot of people still like getting email. I like getting email. I'm an old guy. I like doing everything on my desktop. I'm not glued to my phone all the time. But that's. But the other thing is you can do social media and text marketing through Constant Contact as well. So I'd really urge you to try that out. Like I said, 40% off is not very expensive. Maybe you're using one of those high priced CRMs, and there's a lot of really good ones with a lot of tools, sometimes more than you need. But if you remember Constant Contact years ago, I used to use them, and they were just email. Not anymore. They've got a lot more. So I really urge you to check it out there. And I think you can even sign up for a free trial if you don't want to sign up right now. But I love Constant Contact. Been doing it for quite a while. So what else do we got cooking? Just this week, I want to remind again, go back to that part. If you're having a bad day, make it a temporary. Make it that day's your bad day. The next day's gonna be better. I never drag stuff over. I try to. Maybe sometimes I'm guilty of doing that, but I try never to carry garbage over to the next day. We want to put garbage out, let the garbage man pick it up, right? So if you're having that bad day, you've made some mistakes maybe. Maybe you misjudged something, or you bought a wrong deal, or made a mistake with a customer. Work on fixing that and then let it go. Don't carry it on. Don't make it multiply. Don't let it cause you to have more errors. I had a kid on my softball team that did that recently. And I could just see her pressing. I finally had to change positions. And the next day I told her I'm not going to start her the next game because I don't want her to compile it and pile up error on error. If she has 2 bad days in a row, we might need counseling. I told her. I was joking a little bit. But it's easy to do that, especially with young players because they're trying so hard. They want to succeed. They want to please the coach. They want to please their parents, whatever it is. And if they make a mistake, there's some kids that can shake it off and move forward, and there's others that just beat themselves up. And I don't really get that. I don't think I was ever like that very much. I'm sure we all do it sometimes, but some kids I see do it a lot. And I think some businesses do it a lot. I think they if you don't react, if you don't take steps to eliminate the problem or solve the problem and move forward from it, or at least minimize it at the very least. But then you carry it over the next day and you get up the next day, oh, I got to deal with this. And what am I going to do? Well, it's already pretty much over. Let's say the worst case scenario, you lost a customer. You had a bad experience. They had a bad experience, and they're mad, and they decide they're never going to do business with you again. Now, if you've got a business that does say $500,000 a year, and that customer is 400,000 of it, yeah, that might be a pretty bad thing. You might carry that over a little bit. But I'd be thinking before I got to that point, why do I have that kind of ratio? Why is one customer that much of my business? And if you're looking at that kind of scenario, you need to really think about moving on with that, because don't set yourself up for failure. Because if you have that one customer that you depend on that much, just like this life, you have one platform. If she depended totally on that platform and now it's taken away, what are you going to do? It's going to make it worse. So always have a backup plan, and don't carry the garbage from day to day. Put it out for the garbage man. Even if the problem still exists, start the new day with a new attitude, and maybe you'll see something you didn't see the day before. Maybe you'll see a new solution, and who knows? Maybe, let's say, if it's a situation with a customer like that, maybe they'll have a different perspective the next day, because maybe they realized they had overreacted or something like that. You never know. Don't start the day beating yourself up. Start the day with a new perspective. How are you going to make today better? And if you do that, I think you're going to be very successful. Hey, by the way, share Coach Mike's Always Improving with your friends and family and colleagues out there. Scan the QR code. Subscribe to Coach Mike's Always Improving. Mondays are for everybody, but Tuesday through Friday, any episodes I do on those days are for my paid subscribers only. Of course, I'd love to have more paid subscribers. So not a lot of money. Help support the old guy here, Add to my Social Security or whatever. But I'll make sure you get more than enough value out of it. Have a great day. Coach Mike's Always Improving. I hope you are too. God bless. And we'll see you tomorrow probably.